C.SQUARED.
Hey everybody, welcome back to C.SQUARED. What you just watched was Boots on the Ground. Now today's subject has been very touchy because we're discussing discrimination and prejudice within the LGBTQ community. So our panelists have had a lot to say, a lot of loud mouths, and a lot of opinions. But now we're going to have an expert opinion as we're going to introduce our guest panelist for the day. His name is Xavier Leonard, and he is a psychologist and psychotherapist who also has a radio show on lowdown247.com where he gives dating advice and also talks about relationships. So Xavier, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, very welcome.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome. So first of all, how long have you been doing your show, and what is it that interested you, or what was it that gave you the interest to do it?
I've been doing it for about 1.5 years now, and I just thought that I didn't really like talking to people a lot, but I found that a lot of, in my work professionally and also personally, I found that a lot of times people of color, including LGBT community, we don't talk about a lot of some of the issues that we face in our life, whether it has been, the homophobia we've experienced within our own families and community, don't talk about issues of suicidality, depression, family relationships and discord that we have. And I thought that if I could create a virtual venue where we could talk about those issues together, we'll, number one, find out that you're not alone in it, and that in sharing some of those experiences along with some advice, you can move to a better place to where you can have a healthier and happier life for yourself.
And that is actually very true, and something that we're striving to create here on C.SQUARED as well. And as you know, our panelists had a lot to say about today's topic. The last comment that was made was by Jesse, how he does not understand bisexuality. So what do you have to say about that in particular? And maybe if you want to piggyback about the things that you've also heard prior to coming on set.
Okay, yeah. But a lot of people have questions and issues with bisexuality, and I, in fact, had issues with that in a dating situation as well. And what I learned from really getting to know some bisexual people, and this is what the show is about, conversations. I think it has to do with continuing the conversation and not just stopping at the first encounter. And so I learned that some bisexuals are indeed people who like to be with members of opposite sex at the same time. But then there are also other bisexuals who just happen to be attracted to both. But when they're single, they find one person that they're attracted to, whether it's a male or a female, and they stay in that relationship with that person for how long it lasts. And then the next time they're single, again, it could be a male or female that they first encounter that they end up being in a relationship with. And so I think that that's important to be known in the community, because they've gotten a bad rap in the LGBT community because of that, because they think that they can't be loyal or that they're always cheating, that kind of a thing. And I think it does them a disservice, because it's part of what the topic is, where we're discriminating and showing bias against ourselves because we're all part of the same community.
Awesome. So Jesse, does that help you maybe understand a little bit, or do you have a question for Xavier?
It does help, but I mean, as far as questions, I don't know. I feel like I can't compete against a woman, and as long as I'm in a relationship with a bisexual man, he's going to be looking at women because they offer him something that I can't give him.
That's true, and that's the decision that you have to make in being with somebody like that.
Right, that's true.
But if you have a trust in that person and then you end up being the one, then even though they may find, because even as a gay man, I still find women attractive and I will notice them, but that doesn't mean that I want to go and engage with them in a sexual relationship.
But I mean, as a gay man, you're already being satisfied at home by your man in bed.
Right.
As a bisexual man, he doesn't have a woman at home in bed. So that urge will only increase in time, and eventually...
But again, if it's that type of bisexual that wants to be with both at one time, he may have had a wonderful experience, or many wonderful experiences with women, but he's now with you. And if you're truly the soulmate that he wants to be with, then he can leave that behind.
I see.
But it has to do with the trust.
Now, you said that you were currently dating a bisexual, right?
Yeah, going back to what you mentioned about that, as far as you happy with it, I'm with the person right now, and he goes both way, and then, he said that once in relationship, he's not going to be cheating. So like I said, it doesn't matter what, like you said earlier, it doesn't matter who's in a relationship, if they're bi or not, as long as you committed with one person, and that's fine, and I have no problem with it.
Right.
Has anybody else here dated anybody that's bisexual? I know you identify as bisexual, but has anybody else here dated anybody that's bisexual? You have? Okay. Well, we'll hear a little bit about that when we come back from the break. Thank you so much for your expert opinion. He's going to continue staying with us. When we come back from the break, we'll continue this open discussion. So make sure that you continue tuning into C Squared, and we'll be right back.
Whoever could we ever could we be? I can never be nothing but authentically me. If you're looking for a place to have crucial conversation, no longer have to fear, cause you can have them here.
C Squared.